メジャー翻訳速報。
カクタスリーグが進行中。ドジャースではフレディ・フリーマンがついに実戦復帰。一方、山本由伸選手は開幕投手に向けて調整を続け、今日は2回3分の1を投球。ドジャースのブルペンドッグスと呼ばれる精神的に強いリリーフ陣も注目です。このチャンネルでは日本人選手を中心とした最新情報をお届けします。この動画が面白いと思っていただけましたらチャンネル登録と高評価をよろしくお願いいたします。
Inside our Sportsnet LA studio, joined today by Jerry Hairston Jr. Second win of the spring for the Dodgers. Our first post-game show where we get to talk about a win, but obviously wins and losses, Jerry, they don't matter. What's most important, we're another day closer to games that count.
Absolutely. Listen, the winning is a good thing. It's not a necessity, but it is a good thing. It was fun to see the young guys really swing the bats, but the most important thing, get ready for the regular season.
All right, and it was Yoshinobu Yamamoto making his second Cactus League start today. Went 2 1/3 innings through 54 pitches, and after his outing, he talked about it with Kirsten Watson.
Yoshi, just to be able to get out there, get into the third inning, or excuse me, the fourth inning. How are you feeling just kind of in regard to the stuff, how it played today?
今日3回投げたんですけども、全体的にどういう感じでしたか？
初回はいい力感で入れましたし、2回3回とちょっと失点はしましたけど、いろんなことを試せたり、いいところはたくさんありました。
Yeah, because getting into the game, because I think I was feeling pretty good, because I was not overthrowing, and then I felt good, and then after that I gave up a couple runs, but I was also trying to kind of experimenting a couple things.
Yeah. What's really been the focus right now that you're kind of trying to dive into?
今現時点でこういうことトライして見たかったこととかっていうのはあるんですかね。
高さだったりコースだったり、そういったところを今日は意識して登板しました。
I was playing with that location, elevation, height in the zone, out of the zone, and I was playing with those things.
Why were you doing that? What led to that?
そういうことを試してたっていうのはどういう理由からでしょうか。
しっかり実践の感覚を、より良くしていくためと、前回そこまで厳しく狙ってなかったこともあって、ちょっと高くいくのが多かったので、そういったところをしっかり感覚を良くするためにより意識して投げました。
So, the main reason doing that was that, how to say it, sharpening my feeling for the game. And then last time I was not doing it, so that's why I did today.
A year ago at this time, you were working on your delivery and your hands, not to tip pitches. How comfortable do you feel now, having dealt with that already?
去年と比べたってことだと思うんですけども、現時点でその癖とかがもう全く見えないようになってるんですけども、そこに関してはもう十分対策して楽に投げられてるってことでしょうか。
癖
僕なんですか。見えないということなんですけど。
わかりません。はい。
I'm not sure about that.
Have you used spring games as an opportunity to experiment much in the past, or is this something where now that you've been in the major leagues for a year, you're a little more comfortable using the time?
You mean when?
Like
before
last year, did you do it?
去年も似たような感じでいろんなことを試してた。で今年はまた全然去年とは違ったまた新しいことを試しているということでしょうか。
いや大体ずっと毎年同じことをやってますし、この時期やることもそんな大きく変わりませんし、一つずつ段階を上げていって公式戦に近づいていけたらなと思います。
So right now at this moment, what I'm doing is pretty much the same every year, and then around this time of the year every year, and then I'm just trying to ramping up myself, because of physical and mental for the season.
Physically, is there anything different that you've been doing for your body, just kind of based off of what you learned last year, battling injury in the middle of the season? Is there anything you've had to learn differently to hopefully avoid that, I guess?
去年のシーズン半ばぐらいまでに入ったとこを想定して、今の調整っていうのもやってるんですか。
シーズン半ば。
去年の経験生かして。
1年通して、もちろん投げるのが目標といいますかその最低条件だと思うので、もちろんこの時期は 1年通して投げるための準備をしますし、また開幕からより良い状態で入れるような準備をしてます。
Because the biggest thing for me is the most important thing for me is because be able to battle through the whole season, and then right now because I'm preparing, getting myself ready for the both, because for the beginning of the season and to get through the season.
All right, so Yoshi today, Jerry, 2 1/3 innings. He had those 54 pitches. Yes, he allowed a couple of home runs, but we heard him talking about experimenting with a few things today, which is common for guys during spring.
It's extremely common. Listen, usually starting pitchers that know they need to get ready to start the season, especially with Yoshi, knowing he's game 1 starter of the regular season, he wants to make sure he works on a variety of things. This start, he walked in saying, you know what, I'm working on my fastball command up in the zone. I got to be able to do that. Obviously, he missed location a couple times, but that's the reason why you want to work on it. Breaking ball here, center cut. Obviously, the hitter doesn't miss it. But the most important thing is working on what you need to work on. Josh Beckett, I played with him my last couple seasons with the Dodgers. He would go through spring training. One start, I'm working on fastball command. The next start, breaking ball. All I'm really throwing is breaking ball, making sure I'd land it in the strike zone early and make sure I'd land it out of the strike zone with 2 strikes. So pitchers know what they need to get ready for a season. I don't care about the results. It's all about getting ready for his opening day start.
And that's what's most important because he's only going to have 2 more starts in Cactus League before he gets the ball in Japan for game 1 of 162. Right now, let's go back to Arizona. The skipper, Dave Roberts, with Kirsten.
Dave, ahead of this game, you said for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the plan was for him to hopefully get through 3 innings. He got into that 3rd. What did you see from him today?
I thought he was good. I think that there was a fastball that leaked back for a homer. Then he threw a split that really didn't do anything, gave up a homer. But I thought he got his work in and he was fine.
Tony Gonsolin, he was efficient. It felt like he was excellent. How would you describe his performance on the mound?
Really quality work, very efficient, as you said, and the strike throwing is good. Delivery looks good, and it looks like he could have went out there for a couple more. So very good outing for Tony.
And on the offensive side, just what did you see from the quality of at-bats today?
I think really good. I thought Miggy took some good at-bats. I thought Muncy got on base 3 times. Good at-bats. It was good to see CT square up a couple baseballs, and the guy that's kind of been the player of the camp so far, David Bodie, he's continuing to just take good at-bats.
When you think about just opportunity, obviously so much talent with this organization. When you see guys like David Bodie and how he's come to this camp impressing, has the ability to play different positions, how valuable is that for a player like him?
It's good. I mean, he has an opportunity to kind of show out and impress some people, and we're giving him opportunities, and I just like him because he's a heady baseball player. He's got some major league service. He understands how to play the game, and he plays with a lot of energy. You can put him anywhere around the diamond, which is helpful too.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dave, and congrats on this win.
All right.
Jared, we had Tony Gonsolin on with us at Dodger Fest. He was emphatic that he was going to be in that Dodgers starting rotation to begin the year. And so far this spring, he's done nothing to make us believe that he will not be a part of that starting rotation.
Yeah, he's locked in. I love his attitude, love his makeup, and understand, you know what, yes, I am fighting for that 5th starter role, but he's extremely confident, and I love that he's been extremely efficient. He has been extremely sharp with his pitches, whether it's a fastball away, the command of his split, that certainly is a field pitch, also the breaking ball as well. So love that Tony Gonsolin is going out there doing what he needs to do to secure the 5th starter spot.
Yeah, just 13 pitches to get through his 2 innings, and then he went down to the bullpen to throw another simulated inning. Right now, let's go back to Maryvale because Miguel Rojas continues to swing a hot bat. Talked about it with Kirsten.
Miguel, just when you kind of look at how you've been feeling this spring, getting the results, Dave has told us that you've been really wanting to get out there, get some more at-bats in the games. Where do you just kind of feel where your swing is at, body is at right now?
I feel pretty good. That's the reason why yesterday I wasn't supposed to play, and my swing is in a really good spot, and I try to continue to do what I need to do to get ready. My obligation here is to be the best that I can be for the team. I know my opportunities will come, Obviously, I know all the talent that we have in this organization, but we have a lot of flexibility. So I was talking just to Dino at 3rd base when I got there, and I was telling him like how happy I am with the results of the surgery and the way that my legs are feeling now. I think this is the best time, the first time in 3 years that I feel this way, and I'm really happy. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna turn it down a little bit as soon as the spring continue to go on, but I'm ready to go.
Defensively, obviously, we saw you at first base, and of course, that was a lot of that was due to wanting to get some more at bats. But how are you just managing whether it's reps at second, obviously short? I don't feel like you maybe don't need as many reps there, but just kind of managing second, third base to kind of feel the most comfortable for you.
Yeah, I continue to see myself as a shortstop every single day. I'm coming to the ballpark thinking that I'm a shortstop first, and then every time I play other position, I'm just gonna be an extension of a shortstop there. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of reps in different positions. Yesterday was a little bit of first. I've been playing third. I know it's gonna get my chance to play a little bit second base, and you know how it is. You never know how it's gonna play out. We know and we expect Mookie to play a lot of shortstop, and hopefully because he's one of our best players, and he's gonna be out there every single day. Hopefully he can play 162. At the same time, I gotta look at my opportunities and my chances to play all over the diamond. That's what I started doing a couple years ago when I first got to the league. I know how to do it, and I want to be the best at it. So that's why I'm bouncing back and forward and trying to do anything that I can to get ready.
Does Dave or Andrew just kind of mention maybe prioritizing or focusing kind of your reps or time at one or the whether it's third or second? Just has that been any conversation just yet for you?
I think it's a conversation that it doesn't need to be had because I'm pretty good understanding where we are. I'm gonna be ready, and then at the end of the day, I need to be ready to play shortstop. Like that's the toughest part in the infield. We never know what's gonna happen. Like the 2 years prior to this one, I got acquired by the team just to be a utility guy, and I've been playing 100 games at short. So you never know what's going to happen, and I need to be ready to play shortstop. I just going to emphasize of being ready to play in that position because everything else will just fall in place if I'm ready to play short.
Year one of Yoshinobu Yamamoto's 12-year deal is in the books. 7 wins in the regular season, an ERA of 3, 2 wins in October, and of course, a World Series championship. Recently at Camelback Ranch, with an assist from his translator hero, I got connected with Yoshinobu. Yoshinobu, boy, what a first season for you. How would you describe the 2024 rookie season for you?
すごくいい経験も、苦しい経験もどちらもたくさんした、シーズンで、最後はワールドチャンピオン、ポストシーズンも経験できて、でワールドシリーズも投げさせてもらって、本当に特別な1年でした。
Looking back to your first year here in the major leagues, what would you say was the biggest adjustment you had to make?
本当にこれっていうのはないんですけど、なんかやっぱりこう身の回りのことが少しずつ違って、プレーの面でも少しずつ日本でプレーするとは違うことがあったんで、なんかそれが後から振り返るとやっぱりすごい慣れてなかったなというか、違和感が感じてたんだなっていうのは後から振り返ると思いました。
You have a new teammate this year in Roki Sasaki. What can you tell us about Roki as a person, as a pitcher, and how you think he will adjust to Major League Baseball?
So, at a personal level, he has the most sensitive sense of smell.
Really?
Yeah. And then as a teammate, I'm very happy to be able to, play with him, through the season. And then that's great for everybody too.
How much fun was it to watch Shohei Ohtani do what he was able to do last year as a hitter? Obviously, we're going to get a chance to see him pitch this year, but I imagine part of you is also a fan just watching him perform the way he did last year.
やっぱり近くで見れたっていうのはすごく、選手としていい経験になりましたし、本当にこう、もちろんすごいのは分かってましたけど、毎日なんていうんだろうな、本当にこう毎日衝撃を受けるようなプレーをこう更新されていくというか、昨日もすごいと感じたけど、今日もっとすごいのまた 見れたみたいな、そのチームメイトで毎日一緒にプレーして、何ワクワクする選手は本当に特別かなと思いました。
What is it going to mean to you to go home to Japan and start the first game on opening day in your home country probably against Shota Imanaga as well, and what that will mean to you.
久しぶりに日本の球場でまた日本のファンの皆さんの前でプレーできるのがすごく嬉しく思いますし、相手投手ももしかしたら、今永さんになるかもという、情報がありますけど、もしそうなったら、とにかく負けないように全力で頑張りたいと思います。
Obviously, last year we saw a lot of decoy, Shohei's dog. Now we hear Roki has a dog, and he's got his dog on his socks. And we hear Yoshinobu now has a dog. And I think your dog was here playing with decoy the other day. What can you tell us about your dog? What kind of dog is it? Boy, girl? What's his or her name? And is your dog getting along with decoy?
もともと動物がすごく好きで、僕の母が動物病院に勤めてたので、その影響で、子供の頃から動物が好きで、去年の夏頃に母がロサンゼルスに来てる時に、オフリハビリ中だったのかな、リハビリ期間中で、午後時間があったので、母がそのシェルターを見に行ってみたいと、アメリカのシェルターを見に行ってみたいということで、そういう話をしてて、でシェルターに行って、すごいこう、気になる犬がいて、それが出会いで、飼うことになりました。
So he gets along with decoy?
My dog loves decoy, but I'm not sure how decoy feels about him.
ずっとディコイが逃げて、僕の犬がこう追っかけて。
So my dog decoy, because he runs around, and my dog chases him around.
That's great. Yoshinobu, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
We always love the annual PECOTA projections. Some interesting notes from the updated projections. Dodgers sitting at 103 wins. That's the most in baseball. Playoff probability 99.7%. Looking to be a tight race in the AL East. NL East, the Braves, Mets both projected to go north of 90 wins. Dodgers aren't the only winning team in the NL West. The Diamondbacks, Padres, both expected to challenge for a wild card spot. We fully expect the Dodgers to win the NL West for the 12th time in the last 13 years. Jerry, you have the Diamondbacks, Padres, both of them expected to be really good as well. Do you see both of those teams challenging for playoff spots in 2025?
I think the D-backs have a really good chance to get to the postseason. Obviously, the Padres have a lot of talent, especially in their lineup. They still have pretty good pitchers in the rotation. I think the D-backs have the best rotation outside of the Dodgers in the division. I think the D-backs will swing the bat a little bit better this year. Cordero really got off to not a very good start last year, but he really had a great second half. The last 2 months, he really swung the bat. I love Marte for the D-backs. So I expect these two teams to be in the hunt, D-backs, Padres, and NL West.
All right, I see both of those teams going north of those projected numbers, 87, 86 wins. Meantime, the Phillies, they will try to win the NL East for a second straight year, but the Braves are getting all of those injured guys back, including Acuna. The Mets, they added Juan Soto and a couple of pitchers. Jerry, I think this is going to be a fascinating race to watch in the NL East.
I think they're really good teams. First of all, the Mets, obviously we know about Juan Soto, but their pitching has gotten better. I think they're going to make one other move either early on the season or at the deadline. We know about Philly, especially 1-2 punch there in Philly. They got a great lineup as well. Braves, Mets, the Braves, they get this kid back, Acuna, who is an absolute beast. They get healthy arms as well. I really believe the NL East will be the toughest division as far as fighting for first, second, and third place in all of baseball. So it should be fun to see the Mets, Braves, and the Phillies battle out. And don't forget about the Shownats, John.
Yeah.
They got some young talent there, so they should be in the mix as well. But make no mistake about it, the Mets did some things this offseason. Will be fun to watch.
All right, then you have the Texas Rangers. They're projected to have the most wins in the American League, followed by a pair of AL East teams, Jerry, the Yankees and the Orioles. Do you think that Baltimore can challenge the Yanks for the top spot in the AL East?
I think they can. Listen, Baltimore, they lost Corbin Burns. I think that's going to be a huge blow, but they get a couple guys back as well. Gunnar Henderson, to me, is one of the most fascinating players in all of baseball. He is special at shortstop. Aaron Judge, all 6'12" of them. We know he's a beast as well. They're going to lose and miss Juan Soto, but they got Cody Bellinger. But I'm going to say this, John. The Yankees are a better team this year, complete team, than they were last season. But I think the AL East is going to be a little tougher. Do not forget about the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, they have them in last place there. I think the Red Sox are really going to surprise people.
I think Red Sox will surprise people. They got the best farm system in all of baseball. Yeah. They got some players coming. I think the Red Sox will make some noise.
The 2024 Dodgers relief corps was branded the Bullpen Dogs. The origin of the nickname was from that guy, Alex Vesia, who said the Dodgers have a bunch of relievers with a dog-like mentality. Pretty soon, some T-shirts were made, and nobody embraced the moniker more than Vesia, who's one of the most fiery pitchers in the game. At Camelback Ranch, I got connected with the Dodgers' energetic reliever. Alex Vesia, now a World Series champion. I know that's got to sound awfully good to you, but 2024 on a personal, professional level, probably the best year that you've ever had. You're a World Series champion. Could have made an argument. Dave Roberts trying to make an argument for you to be an all-star last year as well. How would you assess 2024 overall?
Yeah, 2024, I got 2 rings. So started off getting married. That was great. And then ended the year with a World Series ring. So yeah, 2024, really good year, a lot of fun, but start to finish, you know, it's a grind, and you know, it's all worth it in the end. You know, having Walker throw the last pitch and us jumping over the railing and stuff, and I'll never forget that.
You're always a guy that you come into the game, you're revved up, and everyone loves to watch you pitch with fire, and that's a regular season game. Then we see you pitching in October and in Game 2 of the World Series with the bases loaded. What are those moments like for you?
I mean, adrenaline is through the roof. That's kind of always been my thing, whether it's from riding a dirt bike when I was younger or driving fast cars. The adrenaline, the heartbeat, that blood like pumping through my veins, I live for that. So, you know, in those moments, I think it makes me just perform at the highest level, and I love it. Like, I feed for that. You know, it's like throwing a bullpen, nobody in the stands. That's not fun for me, right? Like, yes, you have to do it, and you know, there are certain things, but like in the moment, bases loaded, right, like, give me the ball. That's what I want. So, yeah, those moments they hold right here for sure.
It's so cool to see how the fans have really taken a liking to you, whether it's out in the community or you're here at Camelback Ranch or you're at the stadium. Dodger fans love Alex Vesia, and especially now as a World Series champion. What is it like for you, just the way that this entire community and this fan base has embraced you the way they have?
Yeah, and that's right from the beginning. You know, being in the bullpen, we kind of have some time to sit and relax as the starter kind of does their thing. So I'm always looking in the stands and just, you know, having a good time. I mean, I've actually met quite a few people that they'll come around and call my name, and, you know, we have like that small connection. But, you know, for myself, like, I always try to put myself in their shoes. That, like, I'm always going to be a big fan of baseball, you know, and I kind of want to just make sure it's like I'm just a regular person, just like everybody else, right? Just my job is a little bit different, and that, like, I like hearing people's stories and, like, you know, where they first, you know, became a Dodger fan, or just the love of baseball, or, like, you know, just some kids, it's like talking like pitch grips and like mechanics and stuff like that, or like mentality. Like, I would have loved to have been talked to by a big leaguer when I was younger. I thought that would have been the coolest thing in the world. So for me to kind of give that back is, I think that's where that kind of small liking starts, and then as it grows more and more, you know, it does get bigger, you know, and it's always fun to talk with fans and just pick their brains. There was one kid I was throwing a bullpen today, and I'm like walking out, and he was like, "Hey, I heard you don't like tomatoes," and I just like kind of looked at him like, "Yeah, that's," you know, because I mean, people, you know, whether it's like my wife with like the TikTok stuff, or, you know, interviews, or in the community, people have gotten to know me more and more, and, you know, it's like, I think that's really cool. I think that's a side of me that, like, I like and I want to keep evolving.
I think a lot of people like to look at a team and spot an identity in the bullpen. When you said we're just a bunch of dogs, and I thought that's actually a really fitting moniker for you guys out there, because it seems like that's the mentality you all have when you come into the game.
Yep. So that was said a little while, but then Bazooka, Bruce Stargratterall, he took it to the next level, for sure. He was the one that had the bark and really like kind of led that charge. But yeah, that mentality of going after and getting your inning every single night, like that is that kind of dog mentality that you have to have, man. It's, hitters are trying to take food and money off your plate, man, and that's like kind of where it all stems from. And the bullpen is super special, and last year they now know, but moving forward they're gonna keep hearing from us, man. We have a really good bullpen, and I'm looking forward to what special things that we get to do this year.
I think some of the questions a lot of the guys who were on the team last year are getting this spring is, do you still have that hunger to do it again? Obviously, the new players you've brought in, they're hungry to win a championship. But I've been struck by how many guys who were on the 2024 team feel like, yeah, I'm even hungrier to win it again.
Yeah, and that's the message from those signings, right? Like, it's not just a one and done type mentality. And I think, moving forward, like when I saw all the different signings, it was like, all right, we're going for it again, right? And it is motivating. And like, a lot of people asked me, was like, did you take a lot of time off, or did you really celebrate it? And I'm like, yeah, I took my 5 or 6 days of like celebrating it, taking it all in, and then it was back to work, right? Because now it's the 2025 season that comes up, and yes, it is the past, right? Like the present day, we got to get going, and because it can speed up on you, and you don't want to be behind coming into this season.
Alex Vesia, thank you so much, man. Appreciate your time.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
Jerry, Alex Vesia is coming off the best year of his young career. He was also a finalist for the All-MLB team last year. He might not be the biggest name that they have in that bullpen, but he's certainly been one of the most reliable guys they have.
He has been outstanding. I just love the edge he pitches with. He doesn't take anything for granted. He's one of those guys that he's old school, where he wasn't the biggest prospect. He comes from a Division II program. And he understands, this is what I need to do to succeed here at this big league level. He pitches with that edge, pitch with a nice chip on his shoulder. We need guys like him. Gets righties and lefties out. Good for Alex Vesia. I think he continues to get better.
It begins every day with 5 minutes in the cold tub, down to about 40 degrees, maybe 38, 39 degrees. That is next level stuff. I couldn't do it. Tomorrow, the Dodgers take on the Rock Show, but the big story is the return of Fab Five Freddie. The last time we saw Freddie Freeman in a game, Jerry, he was hitting bombs in the World Series, winning the World Series MVP. Of course, after undergoing offseason ankle surgery, took him out for a little while. He's ready to make his Cactus League debut tomorrow.
Well, good to see him finally getting out there, because he needs to get out there, John, if he wants to make this team. So he's healthy, ready to roll. Good for Fab Five Freddie. Can't wait.
So we're going to have Freddie Freeman making his debut tomorrow, and then the big show on Friday. Will Smith on Friday as well. Things are starting to come together with this Dodgers team.
Once again, John, I'm not worried as long as we are healthy to start the season.
For Jerry and Kirsten, I'm John. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Once again, first pitch at noon with Freddie Freeman in the lineup.
メジャー翻訳速報。
山本由伸選手は今日カクタスリーグで2度目の先発を務め、2回3分の1を投げました。良かったと思います。ホームランになった速球が1本ありましたが、必要な投球練習はできました。と語る山本選手。高め直球のコントロールを練習する姿勢からは、開幕投手としての責任感が伝わってきますね。このチャンネルでは、日本人メジャーリーガーに関する現地放送局の様子を翻訳してお届けいたします。お見逃しのないよう、今のうちにチャンネル登録をよろしくお願いします。また次回お会いしましょう。